Nithyananda, welcome back to your viewers. So far, all of us have had an amazing preparation for the Akashic readings with Devi Parashakti, where we learned who is Devi Parashakti, what is Akashic readings, etc. And now, what we are going to enter into is a very, very, very profound segment. Because when Devi Parashakti comes in front of you, what is important is the receptivity that you have to be able to receive the energy that she showers and bestows upon you. But as human beings, for receiving something, we always open up ourselves only when we give. If you have observed, let's say how you have something, let's say you got your something that you're so excited about, but free of cost. Two, what you have spent so much money on. Just giving as an example, the attitude that you carry towards it itself will be very little. So always when you give something, you become more open to receive. So the best way to open yourself to enable the receptivity in you so that you can avail the divine grace and blessings is in the space of gratitude, offering your gratitude, expressing your gratitude to the divine. And this segment, that is exactly what we are going to be seeing. Divine offering is a divine giving of gift, pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two parts, giving and accepting. Only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete in itself. Offering is not made of fear nor of greed. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for the only purpose of enlightenment. What we are going to be seeing in this segment is some of such offerings, which when you offer, enables you to experience the pure love, the divine energy, grace, with blessings, boons, powers, etc. The next slide, please. The next slide, please. There's a beautiful dhyana shloka of Devi Parashakti. Induni bhaveda karavarni nayanam syat pankajavara japakshasarayuktam angahima bhushana vichitra vasanam syat tungamakutochvala manonmani swarupam. This is from the Moola Agama, the Manonmani Dhyana. Moonlight face holding the Vedas on one hand, fire in the eyes with lotus flower bracing and blessing hands, one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments, in wonderful clothes and shining big crown. Her name is Manonmani. It's another beautiful dhyana mantra of Devi Parashakti as well. ध्याये देवीं शत्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां दधानां सव्ये पद्मं वरदमपरे चाभयं चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मनीं प्रतिदिनं पामर्तनत्रीं शुभाम्. This is from the Moolagama, the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Manonmani. This means, I meditate on Devi with three eyes glowing like a moon and holding the Veda. lotus and gracing with blessing and basing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and is worshipped by Brahma and other gods. And she showers auspicious boon for all of our actions every day. These shlokas, as these jnana mantras aptly describe, Devi Parashakti is a cosmic mother filled with love. And today we are going to be seeing what are the ways through which you can connect to that cosmic mother. If you see the offerings today, will be majority will be of gold, because gold is a very, very sacred element. It's a divine element. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, gold is considered as one of the most precious metal, not just precious but divine, and hence all the precious offerings, important offerings that we make, the jewels for the deities, or the jewels that people wear, or be it the way the temples are made, the paintings and everything, it's made of gold, because gold is an extremely precious and high alchemy metal which can hold the energy of alchemy. It purifies anything it touches. It's an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse the sattva energy, which is a positive energy currents, into anyone who touches it or who wears it or who operates in its vicinity. The next slide. The next slide, please. Gold is present in all the scriptures and agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is most auspicious and purest metal, which purifies any being. In the Hindu civilization, everything is built for the gold things. And when one had to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, and all these people offer offering the next slide, please. The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold, called the Hiranyamaya, the river of gold, Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was also called as Hiranyavartini in Atharvana Veda. Now let us enter actually into these offerings, and let's see, what are these offerings? Now that we saw the significance of gold, let us see what these offerings are and how that can benefit us and connect us. The further slides. The first is the offering of e-hundi. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vasya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi, Sharadharadhya, Sharvani, Sharmanayini.
Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion. She removes all our fears.
The next slide. E-hundi, when if you see in Sanatana, if you are brought all the time, when you, especially you go to the temple or something, you are always, as a first lesson of being able to express your gratitude, you are given maybe a 50 paise coin or a 25 paise coin, 1 rupee coin, 10 rupees or something, and then you are asked to drop in the plate or the hundi before you take the arati. That's how we are taught our very lifestyle, because expressing gratitude, connecting with the divine, starts by offering rituals, expressing our gratitude in some form or the other. Now, in this time of the pandemic and where this whole digital age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made this opportunity available for all the human beings, where digitally you can offer the hundi from wherever you are. You can take that one step to begin expressing your gratitude. And offering, where when you offer the e-hundi, the space of gratitude gets awakened.
The next is a Sankalpa chant. तायैथान् मोह्यते विश्वं चैव विश्वां प्रस्यूयते साया चित्त च विजनं तुष्टरुद्धिं प्रयच्छति. The goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being free without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives us in materialistic sense. This comes in Devi Mahatmya, chapter 12, verse 34. Understand, offering the sankalpa, the conscious resolution, blesses us with all the fruition of our desires, wishes, whatever we want to manifest in our life. There's a very beautiful ritualistic offering where your name is chanted during the Sankalpa mantra while the conscious resolution for the ritual is taken. And this is just $1 only, and you can make your offering just $1 per person. Next slide, please. Next is Sahasranama Swarnakas. Devi is extolled in Lalita Sahasranamas. Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes a repetition of her various names. Here, when it's said as names, it's not just the names, but her very dimension. When you say Shri Mata, she is the mother of the whole universe. Shri Maharagni, she is the empress of the entire universe. Every dimension that is extolled. Sahasranama is 1,000 names of Devi Parashakti. So in Lalita Sahasranama, this offering where Parashakti, each and every dimension is offered, and by that offering you are cherishing and worshipping that dimensions, and those dimensions awaken inside you also. Next slide, please. So this is Sahasranama Swarna Pasa. Just $75, $151, and $51. Next is Mukta Anguti, finger ring with a pearl. Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabha bhasuram sarvabhishta bala pradam girisudam vani rama sevitam Meenakshi pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim Meenakshi pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim Meenakshi pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim. I bow to goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones, and has small bell, who is shining like the splendor of a lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. And I remain ever bowing down to you. I remain ever bowing down to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. Offer the Mukta Anguti, that finger ring with the pearl, to experience that ocean-like compassion of Devi Parashakti. Also, any success you want to experience in business endeavor, you can offer that Mukta Anguti. Next is Swarna Mangti. Sudha Suryabhivarshini. It is extolled as Sudha Suryabhivarshini because when your Sahasrara chakra flowers, it releases nectar, the Amrita. And when it is releasing that Amrita, it just floods every nerve of you, making your entire system so blissful. This Mangtika, this hairline jewelry, your Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, is very significant because This represents that Amrita overflowing from his Sahasrara chakra. So offer the Mahantika to Devi Parashakti and receive her blessings of achieving a blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. Next slide. Pratyaksha Pada Puja.
The Pratyaksha Pada Puja is a very, very, very profound and an extremely beautiful offering. There's a very beautiful line that comes in the Guru Ashtakam. It says, Shariram
Surupam Tatava Kalatram Yasascharu Chitram Dhanam Merutulyam Manaschena Lagnam Gurorangri Padme Tata Kim Tata Kim Tata Kim Tata Kim.
Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya beautifully sings in this verse. He says, you can have a good form, handsome body and a very beautiful form, very beautiful wife, and then you can have like extremely, good name and fame and extreme knowledge, wealth, power, wealth as stable and as much as Mount Meru. But of what use it is if you're not able to sit and experience the Guru? What use is this? What use? What use? Similarly, another scripture beautifully quotes, which says, Ananta samsara samudra para naukarikabhyam guru bhaktikam. Means, and it says how the whole samsara sagara, all the pleasure, pain, joy, sorrow, everything, the only boat which can take you beyond all of this is Guru Bhakti. And then it says, Namo Namaha Shri Guru Padukabhyam. And the best way to experience that Guru Bhakti is by worshipping the lotus feet of the Guru. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Guru is a center, the backbone of the whole of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Even in the Guru-disciple relationship, offering your gratitude at the feet of the Guru forms the base of the worship, of the connection. Such highly revered and highly regarded is the Guru worship. And in that, Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most profound way. Just where there is costless joy, costless happiness, costless backbone of the whole of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Even in the Guru-disciple relationship, offering your gratitude at the feet of the Guru forms the base of the worship, of the connection. Such highly revered and highly regarded is the Guru worship. And in that, Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most profound way. Just where there is costless joy, costless happiness, costless backbone of the whole of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Even in the Guru-disciple relationship, offering your gratitude at the feet of the Guru forms the base of the worship, of the connection. Such highly revered and highly regarded is the Guru worship. And in that, Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most profound way. Just where there is costless joy, costless happiness, costless
contributed in every facet. This has not gone unnoticed by the world dignitaries, leaders, and multi-faith diaspora. Now, let us see the revelations to the world by Devi Parashakti, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, manifesting as the Nijavatara, to reveal as Devi Parashakti on 12th of May 2021 this year, revealed that I came as the Nijavatara. I am blessing you, listen. People, listen. To do good to all of you, I have taken the form of Nityananda and came down as the Nijavatara. People of India, listen, carefully listen. Time after time, Bharadam is the Jnana Bhumi, where enlightened being comes. We cannot make the Jnana Bhumi infertile. Enlightened beings have to come. They have to live, it has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion, we cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save the cosmos from being destroyed, that is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect the beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa. Because of the conspiracy of Drohis and enemies' rule, the captain had to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen, all the Aushadas, by this Guru Purnima, that Jnana Rasavadam, Navabhashana is going to flower. Allow people to come and take a dip in the Navabhashana flower. People, whoever comes and dips in Vaidya Sarovar, they will not have death. They will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day they come in line and will take the dip in Anandalingam. Listen well to my words. For India, as protection, the Nithyananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those who are regretting losing the Nijavatara without confusion, without talking, just as a lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana, water feast, and medicine to get the health and protection and enlightenment. To protect people from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if the captain of the ship is not there, ship is there. When the first world countries closed their borders and schools during this massive global emergency, it is Kailasa that has opened its doors to one and all without exception. It is the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, with his grace and compassion, opened his homes of Kailasa to one and all unconditionally, where you can experience free food, free accommodation, free internet services, you can work from home, you can spiritually evolve, consciously evolve, and establish your conscious sovereignty by being part of these ecosystems that are built by the Nijavatara himself, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, his Divine Holiness Swamiji. So this is the immense opportunity to one and all to protect themselves from this ongoing pralaya. A number of free COVID care centers are opened across India, which includes the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam in Bidadi, Bangalore, Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Thiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam in Puducherry, Pattanam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Siragapadi Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sri Puram Adinam in Hyderabad, Madurai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avattipalayam in Erode, Tamil Nadu, Baroda Adinam in Gujarat, Hosur Adinam in Tamil Nadu. So what we are seeing is the immense compassion that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji is having on the humanity by opening his doors of Kailasa to one and all unconditionally for them to feel protected in this ongoing pandemic. In today's segment, we saw the impact of COVID on children, how much the children are suffering because of the lack of education, the amount of anxiety and mental disorders that the children go through because of this ongoing pandemic. What are the measures that we are taking as Kailasa? You've seen a brief about a list of contributions in the field of education from Kailasa and the daily Parashakti's revelations on what is the impact that the COVID is going to happen on humanity and what is the only solution for us to protect ourselves from this pralaya, which is come and be part of this COVID care protection centers in Adi Kailasa and other ecosystems in sorry for the technical glitch. Now, in the next segment, we're going to watch beautiful video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Swamiji has built, how he built this Nityananda Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvani Peetam with his hard work right from 2003, brick by brick. What are the events that is involved in making of this Nithyananda Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvani Peetam, which is going to protect the only solution for the humanity that is going to protect the people from Pralaya. Kailasa rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19 third wave. Multiple free COVID care centers are opened across India, which includes a number of social services, spiritual services, and most importantly, the cosmic revelations on the global pandemic. Free social services that are offered during pandemic in de facto spiritual embassies across India includes the medical care, infrastructure to accommodate thousands of people, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulance services, which is ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security management through food banks, and then the organic farming. All these social and spiritual services that are offered during pandemic in de facto spiritual embassies across India are offered from Kailasa's various ministries as per the principles laid out in Vedas and Agamas and as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. You have this opportunity to be part of this COVID Care Protection Center by joining in this link below, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So let us take a few minutes for us to join and log into the COVID Care Protection Center. You can register yourself through this link, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. Let's take a few minutes to register ourselves in this link below. Kailasa's Department of Education is providing the academic as well as the spiritual educational services to one and all, especially physically for all the kids who are residing as part of this COVID Care Protection Centers in Adi Kailasa Sarangapeetham and virtually for a number of kids who are going through the e-Gurukul program. With more than 1 billion kids not having access to education in the midst of this global pandemic, Kailasa has taken both the spiritual responsibility and the academic responsibility to enrich one and all and provide these educational services, especially the Hindu educational service that is empowering you to attain your conscious sovereignty. Kailasa's Department of Education is focused on providing this Hindu educational services to one and all for free and reclaim your conscious sovereignty. So you can register through the link below, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. We can just have this glimpses of Nithyananda Rajavidya Gurukul that is there in the Adi Kailasa to one and all. You can see here how the kids are so blissfully radiating the conscious sovereignty of them. They are radiating the state, space, being, super consciousness of Paramashiva. They dress and live as gods themselves. You can see here, the kids are performing the Shiva Stamba Yoga and also the Pratama Vinyasa Krama. Every day morning, 4 a.m. They log into, they get ready and perform the Pratama Vinyasa Krama Yoga. Apart from yoga, the kids are also involved and in managing the Devalaya. They learn rituals, temple sciences, and the rituals. For example, chanting, and doing alankaram to the deities, and they also learn how to do homa. So all these formal education, formal Hindu education helps them to reclaim their conscious sovereignty. What you're seeing now is a picture of the Chandi Homa, Mahachandi Homa, that happens in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam. Yes. So Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam hosts a number of daily rituals. That is the to help the humanity attain the world peace with the blessings and the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. The rituals that are conducted in the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya are done by the third day awakened Balasans of Nithyananda Rajavidya Gurukul in Adi Kailasa. What you're seeing is the pictures of the Nitya Pujas, which includes the Abhishekams and Arati. What you're seeing here is the celebrations. Now, along with the Nitya Pujas, we also celebrate more than 200 days in a year on Brahmotsavams. These Brahmotsavams is a time when the community come together to celebrate the presence of God, presence of divine in their lives. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, as Divine Holiness Swamiji is reviving these temple sciences and community based on the temple, community living based on the temple. So this particular picture is from the Mahamrityunjaya Homa. This particular picture is from the Meenakshi Tirukalyanam on Chitra. So you can see how the kids are all so blissful in celebrating these rituals and Brahmotsavams. They also have Nitya Maheshwara Puja. Every single day, Maheshwara Puja happens where the community comes together, live together, and have the meals together and celebrate Paramashiva. The kids also connect with the nature so blissfully. The plants in the Nithyananda Gurukul those plants in the Nithyananda Gurukul do not have thorns because the kids connect with the plants from the space of non-violence, connect with the plants and make those plants shed its thorns. What you're seeing here is the glimpses of the kids from the COVID care protection centers, how they evolve themselves to attain their conscious sovereignty. They do power manifestation, yoga, puja. They learn the sciences that the Hinduism offers to overcome all the mental issues and attain your conscious sovereignty. You can see here the kids performing yoga. So here is an opportunity for one and all to register yourself through this link below, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. It is not just for you, it is for your kids and your family to be part of this COVID Care Protection Center, where you can make them to help them to attain the conscious sovereignty, because just by their presence in this Bhusparsha, in the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established for the humanity to save themselves from Pralaya. So do not miss this opportunity. You have this opportunity to protect yourself and your family members by being part of this COVID Care Protection Center. So you can register yourself in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So let's take a few minutes to register yourself in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for the next segment.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers who are joining us right now. Now, I know that many of us for the first time got to know about some of the greatest aspects of the Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham, and we had a first glimpse into the great contributions of the Avatar as he is today giving to the whole world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally built this Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham as a ship which will help each and every one of us sail through this pralaya, and is literally the home for millions of people during these extremely dark and tense times. But despite having contributed the most to preserve Hinduism, and also in order to ensure that Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it survives even past the next generation, despite having contributed the most and ensured the most, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has faced so much of persecution in every single front. Now, today, in this next segment, we'll be understanding the different ways that the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has happened, and how exactly this persecution has been ongoing against Hinduism for the last more than 1,000 years. It's the largest, most prolonged genocide in human history, but it is entirely invisible. Now, in this next segment, we'll be understanding why and some of the details of how that has happened. Now, it seems like there, if I can request the volunteer to reshare the slides, just you can stop sharing and reshare. Yes. While we get prepared and we're getting back with you, I invite all of the viewers to ensure that you know about the UN recognizing the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It's one of the greatest ways that, at least in one way, finally, because of nothing but the hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to ensure that Hindus have a voice in an international platform about the genocide that is ongoing against them. Now, the next slide, please. As you can see here, yes, we can go back to the previous slide, So here we're seeing a little bit of a glimpse into the temples, mosques, and churches. How we have seen how the certain governments and institutions have been making exceptions in how Hindu temples are handled and treated and governed. So here we understand on the left-hand side, government servant appointed by a government commissioner is the executive officer of a temple, and traditional mud gurus are not allowed to be running in their temples. And if we see mosques, only non-government personnel appointed by the non-government Waqif board are appointed in these positions. And churches, government makes no appointments nor interferes in the appointment. So we're seeing a very physical diagram of how how literally the government is pulling out the temples, but on the other hand, giving so much more to other religions and other different religious institutions. Why is there so much against Hinduism? Why specifically Hindu temples and not the same treatment in any other case? The next slide, please. Now, we're going to just see glimpses of a recent history of the science of power manifestation. The most unique contribution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought down to this world is the science of power manifestation. Now, in the example of Janni Amma, from 1920 to 25th December 2018, is where we're going to see a recent history of what happened. In 1835 to 38, William Adam was commissioned by the colonial government to make a report for Thane of Natur, Rajasthani, and he recorded the population was 1,120,928, that there was 485 villages, that there were 123 native general medical practitioners, 205 village doctors, 21 smallpox inoculators, and 297 women midwives. So that means one midwife per 408 women. Sorry, can you go back to the previous slide? The previous slide, please. The previous slide, please. Yes, can we just go back again? Thank you. Yes. So in 1973, to compare with this, India in 1973, the Kartar Singh Committee of the government of India had recommended that there should be at least one midwife or auxiliary nurse midwife available per 10,000 to 12,000 people. So just if we see how the midwife distribution was, it was a very beautiful way that these women would help other women, and it was a job for women to help and empower women to be independent, to have and maintain their own livelihood, and so on and so forth. The next slide, please. So now we're going to understand this story and this example of Sulageti Narasamma, or Janani Amma, and is what W. Adams in the 1830s and the Satar Singh Committee in 1973 describe as auxiliary nurse midwife. In the period of the 70 years, she performed more than 15,000 traditional deliveries free of charge, which means at least 4 deliveries per week. And that's entirely free for 70 years. And not only that, people do not know that she actually used power manifestation in the medical field. Born in Krishnapura or Tumkur, she was a power manifester. She was able to detect the pulse of the fetus while in the womb without the use of any instrument. A devotee of Bhagavan Krishna, she was also known to connect with him in his form as Bhagavan Dhanvantri and manifest powers. She could very easily detect the position of the baby in the womb. A very amazing gift that she had been manifesting as a power of Paramashiva. And this is one of the powers the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism even initiates, the power of body scanning, where you can see anything going on inside of the body, what is the working of the body and what's going on. The next slide, please. Now let's see the example of Ramanuja from the 22nd of December 1887 to 26 April 1920. Now, by the grace of the goddess Mukhir Mahalakshmi, Ramanuja expressed the third eye power of the length dimension. And given any mathematical problem, he would know the answer without actually needing to solve the problem. When asked how he did it, he would simply say, Mukhir Mahalakshmi showed me or told me. The next slide, please. Another example, Vrishi Shrishruta in his use of third eye powers in surgery. The next slide, please. Yes. So the father of modern day surgery is actually Rishi Shrishruta. Shrishruta was an ancient Indian physician known as the main author of the medical surgical compendium called Shrishruta Samhita. It formed the basis of education of surgery, and Shrishruta is considered the father of modern day surgery. Shrishruta Samhita covers anatomy, treating fractures, general surgery, reconstructive plastic surgery, anesthetics, rhinoplasty, perineal lithotomy, and the suturing of wounds and the extraction of foreign objects. Shrishruta Samhita was written and practiced using third eye powers. The level of detail it covers goes into describing how the fetal develops 7 layers of skin, naming each of the layers and specific diseases which may affect that layer in adult life, which is unimaginable for that era and made possible today only by microscopy and ultrasonography and X-rays. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. And if we see free reconstruction plastic surgery since in the last 9,000 years, the cutting of nose and surgeries have been mentioned in several ancient scriptures and narrations such as Valmiki Narayanan, when Lakshmana cuts the nose of Surpanaka, and the procedure of the plastic reconstructive surgery has been mentioned in the Sushruta Samhita, a treatise on surgery and medicine dating back at least 900s BCE, and is called the Nasi Kasandana, and has been mentioned in verse 1.16 of the text. A more recent incident, which happened in 1781, was when the Colonel Army General Coote, on losing war with Muslim ruler of Mysore, Hyder Ali, had his nose cut. This surgery was done for free in a village. So we have so many examples of the surgery which was done in the Hindu times, in the Vedic civilization. And during the colonial invasion of Mysore in 1792, Kawasji, driver of the colonial army, had been taken prisoner by the terrorist Tipu Sultan and suffered amputation on his nose and one of his hands. Thereafter, Kawasji rejoined the army and became a pensioner of the East India Company. For a year, he remained without a nose until he was given a new one by a Hindu surgeon. The remarkable operation was witnessed by two English physicians, Thomas Crusoe and James Findlay, of the Bombay Presidency, and was subsequently reported in the Gentleman's Magazine and Historical Chronicle, volume 64 by Sylvanus Urban, printed by John Nicholas in 1794. And we also have a link here which is available. The next slide, please. Now, how was the science of plastic surgery actually destroyed? The educators and practitioners of surgery were often of the Shudra Jati. Amongst them was the Nayi Jati, which was considered to be the best by the British. In the modern era, however, Nayis are considered to be marginal barbers. Although the colonial rulers took away the science, its roots were destroyed in cultural genocide by the invaders when they destroyed all the temples, gurukuls, and peetams, where this science had flourished and was developed. As a consequence of these several crimes of the invasion, it's what we see that even contemporary India is facing challenges in healthcare sector, and so much so that it ranks amongst the first in the number of infant deaths at the time of birth. Now, we have to contrast this and see that the destruction that has happened to peetams, gurukuls, is still ongoing today. And the science that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving is being destroyed, literally. Now, we're going to see the Adi Nithyananda Peetam, the ancient attack, the attack against this Adinam. We're going to be seeing a full history as well as the revival of the beautiful Sarvajna Pita that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was establishing, and the attacks against the Pavanapundru Adinam, or the Adi Nithyananda Peetam in Pavanapundru. Now, this is the very place of the first enlightenment experience. In 1989, this sacred hillock was the place of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's first enlightenment experience. And it was a full moon day when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had a profound realization of his own self in everything. He was 12 years old at that time. Now, let's just watch this beautiful video where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has described that experience of the first enlightenment experience that he had in this very space.
Subramania's Enlightenment Day. As per the tradition, he appeared of a full moon day, Vaikasi month, Visakha Nakshatra, Paurnami Tithi, Subramania's enlightenment day. As per the tradition, he appeared from the third eye of Mahadeva. When I completed 11 and aging into 12, no school at that time, usually this May, June, no school. So usually this summer time I will go and sit in the temple or the hill. Around 4:30 to 6:30, maybe you can say this is the Sandhya time. Around the time of sunset and moonrise, I went to the hill, Arunachala hill. I was sitting at the foothills of Arunachala, where I was born and brought up. Whenever I find time, I'll go and spend time in that space, in that area, because Devi became enlightened there. That place is called Parashakti Coral Hill. I can say in a way the whole ambience was so calm, so beautiful. I decided to close my eyes. I was not even meditating. I was just sitting in a very relaxed way. Those days, I started practicing the self-enquiry. Who am I? Sometime I may feel from where the thoughts are raising. That is thought as taught by Annamalai Swami. An enlightened being, enlightened master, who is a disciple of great incarnation, Ramana Maharshi. Once I closed the eyes, the intensity of my yearning started taking over me. I just felt, what is it I am seeking? Who is that me who is seeking? Who is that me that is deeply discontented about anything I see here? Who is that who is deeply discontented even about my own existence? Suddenly, one moment, something happened. Like I'm being sucked inside, pulled inside. Suddenly something opened in me. Something broke inside this Anandaganda area. Literally opened. The first thing happened is that idea inside and outside broke. Means now I know who is the experiencer. Life, alive, being present in everything, experiencing. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me. I started seeing the whole 360 degree. I could see literally all the sides, 360 degree this side and 360 degree this side, 10 direction, above and below, side, everything I could see without turning my head, without opening my eyes. My eyes was closed. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience how much I am alive inside my skin, the same frequency, the same depth. I was feeling I am alive outside my skin, everything, in everything. That whole 360 degree is me. The skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The trees next to me, the temple near me, the hillock around me, the sky above me, and the moon, sun which was setting, moon which was rising. I felt I am alive in everything around me. The whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, the idea something is inside and something is outside is completely lost. I just know I am that oneness is the existence. There is no inner, there is no outer, there is no moving, there is no unmoving. The smallest movements of these plants is my movement, and the highest stillness of the center of the cosmos is my stillness. It will feel like as if the whole sky is centered on my Anandagandha. It looked like a huge balloon which is tied to my Anandagandha, and that balloon is the whole cosmos. Pure, solid gold flowing through my spine, which was cool. Full 2.5 days I was able to see all 360 degrees continuously. Whether I went to the home or anywhere I was walking around, I was able to see the whole thing. I went and told my godmother, Vibhudanandapuri. I asked her whether am I possessed by ghost. She checked my energy and said, no, you are possessed by God. The vision of seeing 360 degrees is settled, but that experience of I am one has never left. Now, that very experience getting reproduced in so many Gurukul kids, even adults. It's only with the lamps lit, the power of the original lamp is established. I can say so many kids having their third eye awakened, even the adults having their third eye awakened, able to see everything beyond the use of senses. My message on this Nithyananda Purnima: work on your third eye, have initiation, see to it your third eye is awakened. My blessings to all of you. Let every one of you experience the highest enlightenment.
Yes, moving on to the next slide, please. So as you now understand, Pavalakundru is a place where the cosmic mother did penance, realized herself as the complete synthesis of male and female energies, and became revered by the Adi Shaivite minority tradition community as the deity called Ardhanarishwara. So here we have the great unbroken lineage where, as you can see, in the leftmost, Devi did penance at this very place, and the Paramashivoham at Pavlakundru, and got enlightened. In the second photo, we are seeing Isaki Swamigal, who is seated on the Sarvajñapita, an all-knowing seat in Tiruvannamalai. And the third photo, where you're seeing Mata Vibhudananda Puri, seated on the Sarvajñapita as the inheritor from Isaki Swamigal. And finally, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, seated on the Sarvajñapita as the inheritor of this lineage. The same Kamandalu, as you can see, the sacred water pot and Danda, the wooden staff, are seen next as a part of the ancient items of heritage that were inherited from lineage to lineage. Sorry, from predecessor to successor. And this very place on the 19th of November 2002 is where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism here is, as shown, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had literally began and established the first Adinam, the first Pita and monastery. And here you can see the celebrations for Kartika Deepam with a few of the devotees. And he was just explaining the significance of this very place here. And on this occasion, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had himself served food that he himself had cooked on the auspicious occasion of Kartika Deepam at Pavlakundru, at the building built for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by his guru, Mataji Kuppammal. And as you can see, this is a beautiful example of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself beginning once again all of the spiritual and religious activities in this place, as it is continued until today by all the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving a short discourse at Pavlakundru on the occasion of his birth star celebration. And in 2006, here's some photographs of how the community created a humble roof for spiritual and social activities such as the Annadan, yoga and meditation, puja, and spiritual discourses in Pavlakundru. And here are some more pictures from 2007, where the monks of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and devotees offer puja to the Sadhashiva, the Paramashiva Shila, the very place, enlightenment, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had the experience of the first enlightenment experience. And they're celebrating this on the day of Nithyananda Purnima, which is celebrated across Kailasa as this most celebrated festival. Now, on the 25th of June, 2017, here we have the worship, which continues at Pavlakundru by the monks of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa. And some more pictures. But unfortunately, and what we should each and every one of us realize is this cosmic airport, this place for all the avatars and spiritual experience to happen, is in threat. And what happens to a spiritual experience for the continuous support, following Guru and Guru's Diksha, not questioning, understanding Guru is the descent of the ultimate. This is a place where this is yes. No, but this ecosystem, this very place, is today still under threat. The next slide, please. So here we have a Shastra Pramana from the Skanda Purana from the verse 80, and this is from the Guru Gita. Yeah. So I'll now be chanting this verse. Guru Reva Jagat Sarvam Brahma Vishnu Shivatmakam Guroho Parataram Nasti Tasmat Sampujayet Gurum. And the English translation. Indeed, the Guru is the whole universe consisting of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. There is nothing higher than the Guru. Therefore, worship the Guru. We can go on to the next slide. Oh, sorry. We'll just play this video first. The next slide, please. Now, the first attack in 2017 was an act of intimidation. The next slide, please. And we're seeing here it was pursued and conspired initially by the authority positions in Pavlakundru. The next slide, please. The second attack was just shortly after that on the 5th of February 2017. And here you're seeing some of the bloody repercussions, consequences, and attack of the sannyasis and the volunteers, the Adinavasis, the Kailasians, who were just there to serve. On the 16th of June 2017 was the third attack. Yes, we can now play this video.
அண்ணாமலையார் மலை மீது முருகர் கோயிலுடன் அமைந்துள்ள பவழக்குன்று இந்து சமய அறநிலைத்துறையின் கட்டுப்பாட்டில் உள்ளது. அங்கு நித்யானந்தாவின் சீடர்கள் பாறைகளுக்கு மஞ்சள் பூசி திரிசூலம் நட்டு வழிபாடு செய்துள்ளனர். பின்னர் படிப்படியாக கீற்றுக்கொட்டாய் அமைத்து அதனுள் பஞ்சலோகத்தால் ஆன முருகன் வள்ளி சிலைகளுக்கு இணையாக நித்யானந்தாவின் சிலையை நிறுவி வழிபாடு செய்ய ஆரம்பித்துள்ளனர். இதை அறிந்த உள்ளூர் மக்கள் பவழக்குன்று ஆக்கிரமிக்கப்படுவதாக கூறி கோட்டாட்சியர் உமா மகேஸ்வரியிடம் புகார் அளித்தனர். இதையடுத்து கடந்த 16ஆம் தேதியன்று பவழக்குன்றுக்கு சென்ற கோட்டாட்சியர் உமா மகேஸ்வரி அரசு இடத்தில் ஆக்கிரமிப்பு கூடாது என எச்சரிக்கை விடுத்தார். அதற்கு அந்த இடம் தங்களது பயன்பாட்டில் உள்ளதாக கூறி நித்யானந்தாவின் சீடர்கள் சில ஆவணங்களை எடுத்துக் காட்டினர். அதை ஆய்வு செய்த உமா மகேஸ்வரி இது புறம்போக்கு இடத்தை ஆக்கிரமிப்பு செய்ததற்காக வழங்கப்பட்டுள்ள எச்சரிக்கை நோட்டீஸ் என கூறி ஆக்கிரமிப்புகளை அகற்றிவிடுமாறு கூறினார். ஆனாலும் ஆக்கிரமிப்புகளை அகற்ற மறுத்த சீடர்கள் குடிலுக்குள் இருந்த சிலைகளை சுற்றி அமர்ந்து கொண்டு அதிகாரிகளுக்கு சாபம் விட ஆரம்பித்தனர். சாபங்களை பொருட்படுத்தாத வருவாய்த்துறை ஊழியர்கள் கூரைகளை பீய்த்து எறிந்து காவல்துறை உதவியுடன் அவர்களை வலுக்கட்டாயமாக இழுத்து வெளியேற்றினர். மலையை விட்டு இறங்க மறுத்த நித்யானந்தாவின் பெண் சீடர்களும் வலுக்கட்டாயமாக கீழே இறக்கப்பட்டனர். பின்னர் 5 நாட்கள் அமைதி காத்துவிட்டு கடந்த 22ஆம் தேதி பவழக்குன்று மலையின் மீது ஏறிய நித்யானந்தா சீடர்கள் அங்கு பூஜை மற்றும் தியானத்தில் ஈடுபட தொடங்கினர். இதையடுத்து அங்கு சென்ற அதிகாரிகள் காவல்துறை உதவியுடன் மீண்டும் அவர்களை கீழே இறக்கி எச்சரித்து அனுப்பினர். இதையடுத்து என்ன செய்வதென யோசித்த நித்யானந்தா சீடர்கள் மீண்டும் 5 நாட்கள் கழித்து கூலி வேலைக்கு செல்லும் ஏழை தொழிலாளர்களை பக்தர்கள் போர்வையில் பவழக்குன்றுக்கு அழைத்துச் சென்றனர். அங்கு பாறைக்கு மஞ்சள் குங்குமம் பூசி மலர் மாலையிட்டு மணியடித்து பூஜைகள் செய்ய ஆரம்பித்தனர். பொதுமக்கள் இது குறித்து காவல்துறைக்கு புகார் அளித்ததை தொடர்ந்து இம்முறை 2 பெண் சீடர்கள் 4 ஆண் சீடர்கள் ஆகியோரை கைது செய்த போலீசார் அவர்களை விசாரணைக்காக அழைத்துச் சென்றனர். நித்யானந்தா பிறந்து வளர்ந்தது திருவண்ணாமலைதான். அவரது தலைமை பீடமும் திருவண்ணாமலையில்தான் இருந்தது. ஆனால் நடிகை ரஞ்சிதா பிரச்சனைக்கு பிறகு திருவண்ணாமலை பீடம் காலி செய்யப்பட்டு அவருக்கு இடம் இல்லாமல் போனது. எனவேதான் எப்படியாவது திருவண்ணாமலையில் இடம் பிடிக்க வேண்டும் என நித்யானந்தாவின் சீடர்கள் முயற்சி மேற்கொண்டு வருவதாக திருவண்ணாமலை மக்கள் குற்றம் சாட்டுகின்றனர்.
We can move on to the next slide. The next slide, please. Yes. So the attempt of murder was actually executed against the monks and female monks of the Pavlakundru Adinam and the initiated monks of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa. On the 16th of June 2017, all the sannyasis staying in Tiruvannamalai climbed up to Pavlakundru and began preparing for their evening rituals, and that is when the attack happened against them. As you can see here, some of the very gruesome visuals of what happened and how brutally the sannyasis were assaulted. Sacred religious places of worship were literally destroyed by the casteist, supremacist, atheist terrorists and communist terrorist forces. Here you can see how female monks of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa being abused by police and casteist supremacists, and even the ASMT monk facing inhuman treatment, and how the media houses misrepresenting all the monks as criminals, even though in this case, in every single case, they are the victims. And here are a few of the actual evidences, the proof, where the female monks are being threatened by the government officials, and how one of the ASMT members was brutally attacked by the police. Now, this is Sri Nitya Parabrahma Maharaj after the assault. After the mob entered the premise and started assaulting all the male and female monks, they started throwing stones, and 10 different mobsters ganged up and started hitting him. Parabrahma Maharaj was attacked with stoners and then beaten with iron rods on his head, shoulders, and legs. He fainted from the pain during this attack, but the attackers did not stop hitting him and wanting to kill him on the spot. And a group of sannyasis were at Pavlakundru in Tiruvannamalai offering puja, the ritualistic worship, to the Paramashivoham. The district collector, without giving any prior notice, executed a planned attack with a clear intention to vacate us. He came with the police and the casteist forces and destroyed and pulled down the huts of the monks and manhandled them, physically injured them like beasts, and finally illegally arrested them for no reason. And mob attempts to lynch 3 innocent monks at Pavlakundru also occurred. Repeated attacks made assassins incited with hatred by caste supremacists and at the Paramashivoham. And on the 16th of June 2017, a mob of 80 plus people attempted the murder of 3 innocent sannyasis who were taking care of the Paramashivoham. At Pavlakundru, this mob was sent to drive them away, and the reason being the monks resisted the false accusations and the claims made by the police and other people. The mob was very well known to the authorities as the monks of Kailasa. And this attack was well planned by the people in order to take illegal possession of that land. And here we're also seeing more media coverage of the attacks against Pavlakundru. And again, the attacks against Sri Nitya Parabrahmananda Maharaj. And yes, now let's go on into 22nd June, the 6th attack. On the 22nd of June 2017, without any reason, people started dragging the monks and illegally arrested them. Without any reason, the monks were dragged and illegally arrested, and 2 female monks were also among them. As per the law, women cannot be held in police station after 6 p.m. Completely violating this rule, they held the female sannyasis in the police station till much later in the night. And Hindu monks, Hindu rituals and sacred sentiments were treated in such a preposterous way, harassing and instilling fear inside of them to subjugate them. Here is the different footage and evidence of this. Again, these attacks continue until 2018 and even until this year. The abuse of the Paramashivoham here is shown, where this sacred place, which is worshipped literally as Paramashiva himself, is vandalized, and they had literally attempted to lynch the ASMT community members when they could not reach the supreme point of Hinduism. The next slide, please. And continuously during the rituals, they would throw stones and sharp weapons and intimidate the monks who are doing the rituals, and Even they had assaulted the aged caretaker as well. The next slide, please. And the persistent abusal of this extremely valuable rare heritage site and the life attacks by these terrorist forces clearly reveals their demonic agenda to completely destroy Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the Adi Shaivite minority community. Kailasa itself. The attackers tore and pulled down the saffron robe, which was there to decorate and adorn and ritualistically placed on the Paramashiva Shila, bringing it down to the ground. And they also unearthed the sacred Trishul, which was absolutely degrading and ridiculing it. Now, as you can see, the violence against Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the violence against the revival of Kailasa shows how in danger Sanatana Hindu Dharma is, and how in danger each and every one of us Hindus are of not being able to practice our sacred Hindu lifestyle. The next slide, please. But Kailasa is the very solution where we can be absolutely protected and we can ensure the survival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Yes, we'll just now watch this brief video.
We need to build a large Kailasa ecosystem outside India with the protection, legal protection. That's the only hope we have. Already, Kailasa has signed a treaty with many nations. One nation has even given us a land with autonomous status. We can have our own internal administration, including law and order and judiciary. We are going to do it as per Hinduism, with a Hindu constitution. This is the only hope we have for the future of humanity. By keeping the Hinduism alive and Hindu principles alive, let's keep the humanity alive, at least outside India. That's the only hope we have. I will continue to do Tyaga, and anyone wants to take Apat Sannyas to protect Hinduism, Hindu scriptures, practice and promote Hinduism, you are welcome by the grace of Paramashiva with the protection of Mahakala Bhairava. Already I have got safe haven, safe place for Hindus to gather, live and practice, promote Hinduism and keep it alive and share it with the whole world. Already we have got a property with autonomous status, with all the legal protection. and freedom. Whoever wants to apply to live a safe life, serving Hinduism, protecting Hinduism, preserving Hinduism, preaching Hinduism, non-violence, life positive principles, and keep the humanity alive. Please apply. Fill the form at nithyanandahinduuniversity.org/daily satsang. I have a safe place for you guys outside India, where you will not be mob lynched. You can live peaceful Hindu monk life. Live and study Hindu scriptures, practice Hinduism, share Hinduism with the whole world, keep it alive for the next generation. If Hindus are thinking Hinduism is going to be treated fairly, or Hinduism is going to be kept alive in India, you are fool. You are brainwashed. Neither Hindu sadhus nor Hindu leaders are going to be treated fairly in India. Wake up to this truth. Even for telling this, I would have been arrested if I was available to Indian police. I am not saying the international mafia, anti-Hindu terrorists who are trying to kill me cannot reach where I am. But I can be very sure of one thing. If they kill me, they have to face the law. They cannot change the narrative into I was mob lynched because I was doing something illegal, immoral and all that. That changing the narrative cannot be done by them. That is the reason I kept myself away from the zone, from their area, their jurisdiction where they can change the whole narrative. Now I am in a place where they cannot change the narrative. If they kill me, they have to face the law. If they eliminate me, they have to face the law. They cannot do this changing the narrative. Oh, because of some illegal, immoral activity, antisocial activity, he got killed. You cannot do that narrative anymore with Nithyananda. Understand, I have not made Kailasa to protect me. I have made Kailasa to protect Hindus, Hindu Sannyas Sampradaya, Hindu Gurukul tradition, and Hindu principles, Hindu philosophy, Hindu lifestyle, Hindu spirituality, the only hope for humanity. How they mob lynched my Yogini Sarvanyapita in Gujarat. The Sarvanyapita I made just for girls and women. How they mob lynched and destroyed the whole Sarvanyapita. Just see. Every day this is happening in India. But media twists and gives the absolutely different story. Media and Gujarat police destroyed my Yogini Sarvanyapita in Gujarat, claiming that we are running prostitution and brothel there. Now they don't have an iota of evidence. First of all, we are not doing that. Now they don't have iota of evidence, but they already killed, destroyed the whole ecosystem, whole Sarvanyapita, the ashrami, the Sarvanyapita is destroyed. They will not be able to convict my sannyasis, my sannyasinis in court. They don't have evidence, but they are successful in destroying the Sarvanyapita. That's all they want, and they finished it. If I was available, they would have given me to the mob to kill. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for me, I was not available. So they just finished it with filing a false case. I have seen enough false cases. But this Gujarat police filing a false case on me is the worst false case. I never visited that Yogini Sarvanyapita even once. And for years I have not even gone to Gujarat. And I was out of human society at least for last 2 years. And they are filing a false case on me, saying that I don't know what all the sections they put. And they even filed a charge sheet. And still my sannyasinis are stuck in Gujarat without a place to live because of the bail condition that they cannot go out of Ahmedabad jurisdiction.
We can go on to the next slide now.
Absolute false case. We need to build
Yes. All the pillars of Hinduism are being revived through Kailasa, whether it is the Annalaya, the temple, the library, the Gomandir, or Gurukul. You can support entirely this by supporting Kailasa. With this, that brings us to a conclusion for this segment in today's program on the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And as we conclude today, I request each and every one of you to spend a few minutes and share with as many people as possible, and make sure that you are bringing awareness as it is the Hindu Persecution Awareness Month. With this, we'll now end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. That will understand Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities, and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge, enlightenment. Each God is a enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasian. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. we need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you serve expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures: no photography, video, audio recording.